What is going on, folks? Will Turbid here. Fake Mike. Ow. Real news. What's going on, guys? Good question. Exactly. Well, how are you going to know how many masks to wear, Candy? That's a great question. Great question. Bildo Myers. How do we do? Please share this video. We're going to have a great video. We're going to do a long live stream. It's going to be at least 2.5 hours long. So share this feed. It's going to be a fun one. We're going to have fun. Howdy, Billy the Kid. Yeah, guys, we're going to have a great show. We're going to be joined by V from the Red Pill Hardcore Radio. Him and myself, we've been hosting this for a long time. Yes, James Freeman is making the rounds. He's finally breaking out of his shell. You guys remember the old Ninja Turtles? The stand-up at Radio City Music Hall? They're playing this man. Coming out of our shells. Yep, Albuquerque, stand up. What up? So, guys, let's talk. Let's talk a little bit while we wait for our illustrious guests to be joining us. They should be joining us within the half hour. Shout outs to all the pimps out there, people interested in making peace, proactively instigating, moving wizards. All right, so first and foremost, I lied to you, and then I lied to you, and then I lied to you, and I'm sorry. Because I told you guys months ago that I would be at the Ghislaine Maxwell trial. And that's not going to be able to happen. I was supposed to be able to go tomorrow, not happening. Instead, they randomly gave Juju from Rise of the Moors a court date. So I'll be a witness to that tomorrow. Everybody should go check out the last video I did about Rise of the Moors. It's absolutely insane. Yeah, and so we're going to have a big show tonight. James Freeman's going to be joining us. V is going to be joining us. I'm the real Mike. Masad Mike is going to be joining us. So instead of going to confront the lovely Lady Ghislaine, Jerry Webb, welcome to the Squizzy. Yeah, honestly, you have to make a choice. You either help your friends, your very close friends. I love Rise of the Moors. I love Juju. I love Jamal. I consider Jamal one of my great friends. He's a hero. Jamal is the man. And I'm just lucky I have this day off of work tomorrow. People always hit me up on the comments. Oh, why don't you get out of your mama's basement and get a real job? Well, I have a real job, idiots, and I still do more than you guys. I'm not sure who that is, Level Eyes, but I know Kriston T. Harris, who we interviewed the other day. He's out there, and he does a great job. So you guys all check out the Rundown Live. That's the Rundown Live, or Kriston, like Kristen, but instead of the E-N, it's an A-on. It's Kriston. I'm Kriston T. Harris. No, he's not fancy. He's actually an awesome dude. So what is a real job? That's a good question, too, Billy the Kid. It's like, oh, if you're not working for a giant multinational evil conglomerate corporation in a cubicle or a factory, you're not a man. Okay, jerk. I don't. You know what? That, I guess, defines your life. For working for an evil multinational corporation. You're nobody. You used to be nobody until somebody loved you. Now you're nobody until you work in a cubicle for a multinational corporation. Hey, Will, I thought you were cool before, but you don't work for a multinational corporation in a cubicle or factory setting. I have no respect for you. So what's going on with you guys? I got a lot of stuff I want to talk about, and I can go all over the place with this, but I want to know what's going on with you guys. I'd like to hear what's going on with my bros and my hoes. How y'all folks doing? What is going on, folks? Oh, Pamela says 14th week without a job because she won't comply with the magic wizard potion. Pamela, I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know where you're coming in from, Pamela. New Hampshire is a little bit better. Montana, Florida, Tejas. Uh, it's tough, and I really appreciate you, Pamela, for having the balls to actually do something about it and not just laying down and taking it. So let's everybody give Pamela 2 thumbs up and a round of applause. And if anybody out there is hiring and wants somebody with free blood, oh, she's out in Hawaii. Oh man, Hawaii is a beautiful place, but it's crazy liberal over there, man. Crazy liberal. Not like crazy conservatives either. Any better? Billy the Kid's down in Texas. I didn't. La Sween machine. What does that even mean? Where's the ginger? Good question. He's coming. He's coming. I got some memes here, guys. I don't know if you can see them. I haven't debuted these yet on Instagram. I'm on Fake Mike Real News on Instagram. Hawaii is super tiring. Yeah, absolutely. So we're just kicking it until the actual show starts. Let me see if you guys can see these. Can you guys see these memes? Can you see that right there? It doesn't look like it's coming out very good. Mahalo. Yes. You don't thank me. Don't thank me. I ain't doing anything. You guys are the ones doing stuff. I'm just a dude playing a dude, pretending to be a dude. No, I'm just out here doing my thing, just like all you guys. You guys are. There ain't no reason to thank me. I'm just doing the bare minimum I could be doing right now, and that's what we all are. I'm proud to be standing next to you guys, doing stuff. Oh, dip. We got Georgia Accountability Patrol Gap Band dropping bombs on me. You dropped the bomb on me, baby. So what do we got talking about? We did a great video. The last couple of videos have been uploaded have been really good. Make sure you check out Auditing America for all new stuff. I like that. I like that. I like that you actually explained that to me, Lesween, because nobody ever explains their things to me. Oh, I didn't even know that, Pam. So who's in New England and who's in New York? Let's think about that because we could use some people tomorrow at the trial, at both trials, the Rise of the Moors and the Lady Ghislaine, and Mr. America. Yes, Mr. America is the man. Mrs. Katz. He is the man. He's a great person, and he's allowed me. Honestly, ma'am, there's nobody better than Mr. America. He's just epic. One of the nicest people you'll ever meet. Zephyrus, good to see you again. I may have seen that video too, you have rights. It sounds very familiar. Send that over to me on Instagram, Fake Mike Real News. Yeah. And I got a few surprises that I can't tell you guys about yet, but you have to wait very soon. Very soon. Yeah, this mic is not going to kill itself. I'm not going to kill itself. I'm not going to kill myself. I'm not accident prone. I would never abuse women or children. So you guys already know. Yeah, I do want to go back to Atlanta, man. I gotta go back and out at that state house again. Last couple times I went to Atlanta, it was a ghost town due to the wizardry going on down there. So I need to go back. There's a couple fried chicken places. Oh yeah, you can post a link right there. Sometimes they don't show up. You have rights, cops have duties, but if it doesn't work, just try it again. So I really want people to support Rise of the Moors. I'm going to bring the Rise of the Moors up on screen here so you guys can find them on Instagram stuff. This is my website right here. Created by Theo. He's the main pimp of all time. It's a really dope website. I would like you guys to go over there, find me on this website. I'd like you guys to find me on Fake Mike Real News on Telegram, Discord, Instagram, Cash App, Facebook, PayPal, Messenger, Skype, Twitter, Venmo, Gmail, BitChute, DLive, Minds, everything that you can think of. I'm on every platform. Fake Mike Real News, the Prime. It didn't pop up, no. If you want to send it to me as a private message on Instagram, you could do that. I can pull it up that way. So bear with me. But yeah, check me out at Fake Mike Real News. This is going to be the place that if anything happens to me, guys already know I went down before. Oatstow, what up, pimp? If I go down, this is where you're going to have to find me, Fake Mike Real News. And you'll notice right here, this is the new social media website right here. This is tlbtalk.com. I'm over there. Auditing America's over there. All the band losers are over there. All the winners are over there. All the people that get kicked out, censorship free. We got all the groups. Actually, I'm just going to show you guys TLB Talk because that's the way it is. Do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do. Things will never be the same. You're my brother, you're my sister. I don't know how the fuck you guys put up with me, dead ass, because I'm so goddamn annoying. But hey, we got to do this. We got to do this. I don't have to sing, but I got to do activism. But I have to act stupid a little bit just to keep it light, because this shit is real depressing when you think about all the fucked up shit going on. So when I think about Jamal locked up, when I think about all the people locked up, Julian Assange, freaking all these people, dog, it gets my butt real hurt, and I don't like it. So if you guys are just joining in about 10 minutes or less, we're gonna be joined by the Freeman, that is James, and of course V, the host of the show. I'm the lowly co-host. I'm the errand boy. I'm the whipping boy. All right, so this is TLB Talk. Let's take a look at her up on screen. Brand new social media platform. It's pretty fire. It's pretty lady. So you can see here, you got people, obviously, photos, groups, all the groups. Take a look at some of the groups. Show you a few more things. Bang, Auditing America group. We got conservative people, and we got Black Panthers here. Then we got Saving Fatherhood. Shout out to my boy, Joe Gormley, picking up a debate with me. Awesome guy. Great guy. Great guy. Love Joe Gormley. Great man. Don't agree with him on that. But hey, look, we even got South Romsday group. I don't even know what the fuck that is. I'm guessing it's out in the UK. People United UK. The Brutal Truth memes. We got your memes here. Homeschool postcard exchange. All this preppers. I can't say that word. You guys know, like Ford Galaxy lovers. There's everything here. Everything that you can think of here. Now, videos, events, news, obviously. This is my favorite. Everyone go over to join this. This is the Red Pill Hardcore Radio Show. This is what we're going to go live on. And we can say real deal raw stuff. So this video might come down on this channel because we've been talking so much truth over there. But this is the right here. I check this every day. Every day. All right, take a look at this. You guys heard about this? Press 1 in the chat if you've heard about this Lock Steezy. Yes, it's a rap battle. Me and James Freeman. We're going to be rapping about auditing. Yeah, for the record. Okay, see, geez, guys. We got a lot of people commenting here. Wow, that's awesome. This is awesome. All right, so I'm going to go one by one. Thank you guys for commenting. But I'd like you guys to all join TLB Talk and send me a friend request over here. Wow, I got notifications too. Definitely look that up. You're telling me I can't multitask like that. So here, rap battle will be appropriate. I don't know who you're talking about, but yeah, I'm definitely past the two-party delusion. That's me speaking for me. I don't know what you're talking about, level. Yeah, so I am defending myself in court right now, so I will talk about that a little bit. And that's why, as a matter of fact, this you guys, if you don't know exactly what's going on, there's a video of my arrest on this channel, and I did a video yesterday about what happened. Long story short, Rise of the Moors, and if you don't know what's going on, you have to watch yesterday's video. And I've done other videos about this, but yesterday's video is the most accessible because it's just right there, explaining what's going on. Long story short, me, Rise of the Moors, students from Rhode Island College, Brown University, RISD, people, mothers, fathers, grandparents who've had their kids stolen by DCYF, we all protested. I got arrested because those fools hate me because they know who I am, and Rhode Island's super small, and they don't like a rabble-rouser like me engaging in free speech. Great point right here for the record. I'm just learning this for myself right now. I'd heard about this before. I knew about it. I didn't know how I'd go about doing it. So I'm in that process myself. This case has been dragged out for 2 years. I'm in the same police report with Juju, Jamal's wife. So she's defending herself in court tomorrow, and I'm gonna get to witness it firsthand. My case should be coming up shortly thereafter. Right? I don't have a date yet. But I'll be a witness for her tomorrow. I'll be a witness tomorrow. Yeah. Oh yeah, I came on a random video. Oh, Philip, how did you find me on a random video? Thank you very much. I'm sorry to hear that you're a redcoat. You're not a redcoat. Redcoat is only on your actions. Keep in mind that it was the British people in Magna Carta who started, who had a very pivotal moment when it came to freedom. We couldn't have the United States. We couldn't have kicked out the redcoats if we didn't have the Magna Carta. So that was awesome. The Scream Machine, I would like to smoke with all you guys one day. I told you guys, come to my 9/11 20th. It's not mine, but I have my own protest there too because it was just me. Nobody fucking showed up. Come to my 9/11 protest on the 20th anniversary of 9/11. Well, after that, smoke blunts. You can smoke blunts in New York City on broad daylight. One of the only freedom that you do have. You can't do anything else but smoke weed. They were like, all right, we'll let you smoke weed, but only if we take away every single one of your rights first. Okay. So we could do that. But yeah, I do want to have, maybe we'll set something up in the springtime for New York or DC, and we'll get everybody together. I've been saying this all the time, but nobody shows up. Everyone's like, oh, I'd love to do it, mass on with you. I'd love to do it. And it's just my uncle with his third account. So yeah, I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. I'm a voluntarist, Philip. And I hope you don't know what that means because we're going to be talking about that in a few minutes here when James Freeman joins us. Oats Dow, tell me about your screen name. Yes, I'm on Instagram. Find me on Instagram, Fake Mike Real News. We still didn't get that link. All right, let's go down to the new ones. Yes, so we're going to rap battle. Freeman is awesome. Yes, he was on another RBN show yesterday. It's so funny because me and James in Auditing American CPR Audits, we did a video last week or something like that around there. I think it was last week. And then he texted me the other day, yo, I was listening to RBN and I heard you. I was like, yeah, dog, I tried to tell you, man. RBN's a great channel, man. Great channel. Yeah, Rise of the Moors. It's a great channel. They took it down. They took it all down. They took it down, so it's gone. Exquisite wine in the pimp place. What's up, pimp? All right. Everyone, we all got weed somewhere else. I'm going to have to save up and we're going to have to road trip it. Pick them up. Oh, damn. Everybody go over and subscribe to my brother's channel. Yeah, good question. Bad to the bone. Oh, bad. Oh, bad. What do you guys think of that impression? Yeah, peace and love. Everyone go subscribe to The Matrix. Smizzy the like. Smash the like. Send a massive like smash over to your boys. Josh is in the house. Yeah, I would say we're overall libertarians. Libertarians a catch-all phrase, too, that you can use for voluntarists, anarchists, people that believe in limited government. I don't believe that you can even limit government. I believe the only person that can govern yourself is you. The only person that can secure your freedom is you. So that's how I think. But you guys should definitely go over and friend me on tlbtalk.com. And I'm on the gram too. Insties. So let's just check out my main page here. You can see I'm following my favorite rapper, Cannabis Verified, right there. And let's have a little pre-stream meme stream. All right, this is something I did to promote yesterday's video. You guys really like you guys to check that out. Me, Mr. America, and the main pimp Theo breaking this all down. Shout out to the main pimp Jamal. Free Jamal, true revolutionary, true hero. Love Jamal, love Juju. And then we broke down yesterday. If you guys didn't watch my video yesterday was one of the best videos I did in a really long time. Farming it up in the house. That was. Can I move myself on the bottom of the screen here? That'd be cool, right? Like out of the way. I don't know. I'll just go to the side view here. Yes, rip to John Stadmiller. Yep, John Stadmiller, rest in peace. Great dude. I didn't get a chance to know him that well, barely at all, but he was a great dude, and he treated me super well, treated V super well. And I believe, and I'm not sure, but I believe he may be involved in, or obviously was involved with TLB Talk. So go support him. But yeah, yesterday's video was super dope because we talked about really important stuff. So especially the whole Wizardgate aspect, that was crazy. That stuff that I connected all the dots to, and I still left dots out. I did as much as I could. I got plenty of other dots to that. You guys know I've been breaking that stuff down for a long time, years and years and years. Oh, damn. Now you just got me. We can audit and pimp old hot rods in Atlanta with weed. Georgia Accountability Patrol, message me on Instagram. We're going to make that happen because that sounds cool. That sounds cool. It's always been a dream. If I was a person that was just a normie and didn't have anything to do in my life and didn't have to fight the system, I would be working like a slave in the corporate system, working like a good old boy, clacking away in my cubicle. I'd be working at the factory, hi-ho, because I get myself a classic car, an old black Cadillac, old red Chevy, something like that, and just like bumping my music. But we got stuff to do, so I instead spend my money on going to places so I can confront people and losing jobs. So yeah, yay. Okay, so yeah, we broke it down how this queen right here. I just hate looking at their face. Oh, the blanks were the greatest protectors of my family. Oh yeah, they also introduced everybody. Andrew, Dershowitz, everybody. Interesting. Then you got Trump. Look how stylish these people are. Trump's like, look at me, I've got these two incredibly gorgeous women here, hanging out with the Rothschilds. I love Ghislaine. I wish her well. I say we take the guns, then we worry about due process later. Oh, really? Showed these yesterday. We'll go back a little further. Now, I love this one right here. Based turkey and based turkey. Nice. I'm going to read this quote again because I think it's powerful. I'm not going to read it 2 times like I usually do. This is from Edward Benet's nephew of, hold on. I'm going to send James a link. Bear with you, boy. Copy the clipboard. What side of me don't you like, guys? What side of me? Or, okay, I'm going to email it. So I'm emailing James a link. I know you guys are only here to see James Freeman. I get it. But whatever it takes. I'm only here to see James Freeman, too. He's the freaking man. I mean, How many of you guys don't know who James Freeman is? Oh, somebody messaged me back for a debate. I said, when you trying to do this? And when I say trying to, I spell it Tryna, because that's how I say it. I don't say, excuse me, sir, when would you? And he said, once you can English. And he capitalized English, this person. Real smarty. You're telling me you're scared to debate me because you don't know, because I'm no good at English, and you capitalize something incorrectly for no reason. Good job. Good job, bro. So maybe we'll get that idiot to debate. All right, just sent James the link. So we'll see. James is the man. Yeah. So I'll read this quote. And then we'll go back and check if James got it. Sent. This is from Edward Bernays, who's a nephew of Sigmund Freud. He literally wrote the book on propaganda and coined the term public relations. The conscious worked with the Rockefellers, worked with all the presidents, all that type of companies, all that. The conscious and intelligent manipulation of the organized habits and opinions of the masses is an important element in democratic society. Those who manipulate this unseen mechanism of society constitute an invisible government, which is the true ruling power of the country. We are governed, our minds molded, our tastes formed, our ideas suggested, largely by men we have never heard of. This is a logical result of the way in which our democratic society is organized. Vast numbers of human beings must cooperate in this manner if they are going to live together as a smoothly functioning society. Okay, bro. Aw, we got love. Love is finishing each other's sentences. Isn't that romantic, guys? Look at that. That's a good picture right there. What do you guys think of this one here? Correct. Yo, honestly, I was gonna say I didn't get no likes, but I did get. It's not a lot, but okay, I got some likes. Ooh, look at that face. See what we're gonna do. See, we got these numbers here. One's carbon dioxide. One's human population. Sam and Bet. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Just leave that up there for a seckie. You guys can drink that in. See what you think about that. Hi-ho! What is going on? We got Freeman, guys. Now you guys can actually pay attention. James, welcome to the stream. We are not live on RBN, but we are live. I just sent you the link, you idiot. Not you, the other idiot. How you doing tonight, James? We're in a minute or so. How you doing tonight, James? Start talking so I can send this information. I cannot multitask at all.
Neither can I, but I'll try to talk and drink Dr. Pepper at the same time. Doing good, man. I'm glad to be on your show again.
Well, I appreciate you coming on the show, man, because you're one of the people that I really, really admire in this movement, man. A lot of people talk the talk. You're actually out there walking the walk. You put yourself on the line. You add humorous content, but also you add stuff that that people were actually asking about. They were saying, "Hey, what is this? Will, are you a Democrat or are you a Republican?" And so
you're listening to the Red Pill Hardcore Radio.
You are all fools to challenge me. I'll crush you. Been a long time since I've been in full power. Come at me with everything you've got. Understand?
We're gonna war. We're gonna eat that sauce up for breakfast.
Guys, welcome to the Red Pill Hardcore Radio. V is frozen. V is the host of the show. I'm the lonely, whipping, whisking boy here, the peasant. Fake Mike. We got real Mike on the wheels still. We got an awesome guest joining us. We are live on YouTube. V, can you hear us, Tim? All right, so we're gonna get V on the show. This is something that's traditional here on the show. Is I talk to V a half hour before the show, and he's saying, "Mic check, can't hear you." Join via StreamYard. So thanks for bearing with us, guys. I'm a terrible multitasker. It's actually pretty cool that we have StreamYards. Like I don't get paid by StreamYards or anything like that, but I'll say StreamYards. I mean, before I had to do a lot of different things. I try to make my own graphics with my boy and put all the stuff together in OBS. You guys ever remember OBS? That was a real pain in the balls. And now the StreamYard, you just plug it in. So it's pretty easy to do this. And you know, James, I'm just thinking now about humanity. And you know, the way I view humanity is humanity has been a constant struggle against tyranny for freedom. And I think we've had high points and we've gotten farther on this stuff. I do think that relatively recently, historically speaking, we've been kind of had it easy, right? Like me and you, we go out there with the camera and we do our thing, but we're not storming the beaches of Normandy or anything like that. But now, in the last couple of years, things have started to change yet again. And I actually think we're going to go and take a quick pause because V is saying to play music until he's ready. And this is all messed up here, guys. But thanks for staying with us. We're live here. And you know what, James, I'm going to talk to you for a second behind the chat. James, man, you know, we also share that in common too. When I was 2 years old, one of my first memories, my mom took me on her lunch break to get salt and vinegar French fries and a Dr. Pepper, and that's been my favorite soda ever since. So it's just infused in you. So we're going to be right back, guys, on Red Pill, and V's going to join us.
See, you think of the devil's tongue and you think it's a joke, but
You
it's
are
real.
so. You will listen.
Yeah. Will you just cut it out and talk normal?
You will listen to me.
Please, you know what I'm
Every chance you get, every minute. You will keep your radio, you will turn the volume up even higher.
It's a good joke, but you're tearing down the foundations of our nation.
The entire
Very
foundation
funny.
around
Very
our
funny.
ears.
You are listening to the Red Pill Hardcoreation. House baby. Keep it real. Take the red pill.
You drive a hard bargain.
Listen to me very carefully.
You are listening to the Red Pill Hardcoreation. House baby.
My mission is to go and destroy and not to let anything get involved. You get punched, you get hurt. I refuse to be hurt, knocked down, and knocked out. I can't lose. I refuse to lose. He's been mentioned as a possible opponent. I take all comers. I don't duck any man. Can we assume that Michael Phelps is one of the prospects? All comers. Come one, come all. Because nobody can get close to me. They're not even close. I'm the best fighter in the world.
You are listening to the Red Pill Hardcoreation. House baby. Keep it real. Take the red pill.
He's scheduled for 60 minutes next. He's going on French, British, Italian, Japanese television. People everywhere are starting to listen to him. It's embarrassing. Prepare yourself! Prepare yourself!
You are listening to the Red Pill Corporation. Hosting.
Well, now you can forget about going to the amusement park.
Keep it real. Take the red pill. You are listening to the Red Pill Corporation. Hosting. Keep it real. Take the red pill.
All right, I think I got me here. Hold on.
Phone check.
Yeah, you're good.
Microphone check.
There you are.
Yes.
All right, we're still. I'm not on the air on RBN yet, so if you want to do an intro here.
I think Mike should be handling that one. Aren't
Well,
you?
you
Aren't
want
you
to open the show and then I'll intro? Yeah.
All right,
yeah,
here we go.
We got to do our own.
All right, here you go.
All right. Well, I guess this is working. I don't know. This is going to be one of our first times doing StreamYard. Yes, this is the Red Pill Hardcore Radio Show. And yes, I am your host, V. Yes, that's right. We're here on RBN and KGRA. We want to do a special shout out and thank you to KGRA for picking up our show. For more syndication, yes, I love the syndication, okay? You know, I told these feds when they decided they wanted to war with me, yeah, oh, you want to be so involved in my life, you want to spy on everything I do? Guess what? Everywhere you look, you're going to see me, you're going to hear me, you're going to feel my influence. You may start this thing, but I'm going to end it. Yes. All right. So I've got my co-host here with me, the man wonder himself, the sentinel, the auditor supreme. He got a new title today.
I like, well, don't call me that in front of James Freeman. We're
going to get to James Freeman.
All right. Well,
he's War Master.
All right, that's fair enough.
Yeah. So how you feeling, Will?
I'm feeling good. My favorite description is the man wonder. For years and years and years on the show, I was the boy wonder, and you made me wear those stupid pants, those stupid little tighties, and so I'm just really happy that I'm the man wonder now. I love it. I feel like Pete Rock.
You've graduated. You're the Nightwing to my Batman.
There we go. Hopefully we can just thug it out as the Ninja Turtles, because we got 4 of us here, and those guys are way cooler. But that's neither here nor there. I'm feeling pretty good. We got Rise of the Moors. They got court tomorrow, so I'm feeling optimistic, guardedly optimistic about that. Well, Juju does, not Jamal. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, and we got an awesome guest, so I'm feeling pretty good. How about you, Clem?
Well, let me say this, and this is, I hope our guest here can he doesn't know me, but he should appreciate this. With all the security that I have with my computers and things like that, I have computers that are meant to be tampered with, bait computers, and I have my secured computers, then I have my offline computers, then I have my entertainment set up. Because my usual production computer is a little sluggish today, usually I fight with it and just go along with it and say, okay, whatever. But I'm so excited about our guest that I'm literally doing the show on my entertainment system, my video game computer, which I never put in harm's way. But tonight is a different story. Feds want to hack me, fine, go ahead. I can live without computer games for a few days if I got to fix whatever. I have been requesting James Freeman to come onto the show. I've been requesting Will bring him on for a very long time. I've seen some of your videos on YouTube, and one of them almost made me cry just for the concern that you had walking into station asking about an individual. Is he here? I think nobody knew where he was, but he was in the lockup, and they didn't want to tell you anything. It's one of the first videos I watched, but I really love it when you get into these people's faces, because you talk to these cops like how I talk to the feds. I love it. And, sir, you're an inspiration. I want to know, can I lick your boots? Can I lick your boots? You are the true civil servant. I love
exactly. That's right.
Thank you. Welcome to the show, Mr. Freeman. How are you doing today?
Oh, my mic was muted. Thank you. Yeah, I'm doing great. Thank you for having me on the show. I'm excited to be here as well. So I listened to a couple of your shows Mike turned me on to. So yeah, I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
Well, thank you. That's excellent. All right. He's out there doing the advertising for the show. I like it.
Yeah.
Pushing the muse. Yes. Well, first thing I've got to ask you is what got you started? And where you come from, who are you, and what got you started?
I think my story on what got me started, I think it might change every single time someone asks me, because the truth is it was really a whole lot of different things that all came together and kind of got me doing what I'm doing and has made me who I am. But one of the things that really stands out to me is that I've really just gotten sick. It's been little things over time. I've gotten sick and tired of government constantly being involved in my life when I have not invited them in all the little things. So there were a number of different examples. There was one time where police came to my house when there were trespassers and held me at gunpoint and had me get down on my knees while I stared down the barrel of a gun, put me in handcuffs, and then finally realized, oh, we messed up, but this isn't the guy. But I was a bootlicker at the time and apologetic about it. And I said, oh no, they were just doing their job. And even at that time, though, I still realized that government, well, at the time, I believed was a necessary evil. Now I know that part of that is true. It's definitely evil, but certainly not necessary.
Right.
But I mean, it was just, I can't say that it was really just one instance that caused me to start doing what I do now. It was a whole collection of instances. It was driving through Border Patrol checkpoints inland and having to be stopped while I'm trying to travel from point A to point B and questioned and harassed. Having the city tell me that my RV has to be parked on this side of the driveway, not that side of the driveway. Just all these little things just piled up to the point where I said, God damn it, that's enough. And two can play at this. And so I'm going to flip it around and I am going to come and bother the hell out of you all the time while you're just trying to go about your day. And here I am bothering the hell out of you.
We're cut from the same cloth, my friend. Two people, the same mind. Yes.
Yeah. If they could do a digital drone strike right now, we're probably three of the top most annoying people to these people.
The poking, the prodding, and they do it to see how far they can push you. How long will you comply? What's your breaking point? And I'm glad that most people can reach their breaking points without having to, grab a gun and go do a mass shooting. That's what they really like.
Or snap and bulldoze the whole town, right?
Yeah. That's what they really like. Oh, that validates our job. We can put more
exactly. And that's why I'm very wary of all the people that call into the show and they talk about, and there's even been a number of truthers that I thought were relatively sane recently saying a lot of crazy stuff for whatever the reason. And the way I look at it, I'd like to have both y'all gentlemen's take on it, but if somebody did, and I definitely do not advocate for this, but let's just say somebody took a Tommy gun to the Bilderberg group. First of all, there's going to be other people that want to take their place. And then second of all, they're just going to call you a white supremacist QAnon person, even if you were a black dude, even if it was V. And then they would just be like, well, see, we told you so. So, I mean, what do you think about that, James? What do you think about violence? I mean, because at the end of the day, there is an argument to be made that these people have already been preemptively violent on us. And where is that line in the sand?
Yeah, I love that you brought this up because I used to be Republican. And so from that standpoint, I did feel like violence was the answer to violence and that I should stand up and I don't know, I'm not even going to go into details, but I'm really glad that I became voluntarist because it's helped me realize that, tyrannical regimes have been overthrown by violence again and again and again and again, only to insert a new tyrannical regime because the people never realized what was wrong here in the first place. And that was that people were exercising authority that just plain didn't exist. And until a good part of the population can comprehend that, I don't think that overthrowing any tyrant is going to change anything. Like you said, the next one is just going to step up and take their place.
Yeah, I think that is the thing, and I agree with you. And even when we get enough people together about this, I still don't think violence will be necessary. Then you just have nonviolent, non-compliance. But that is one of the most important things. Going back to something that you mentioned when you're first talking about, because a lot of people, especially people out here in the Northeast like me, these border patrol checkpoints, are they just along the border?
Well, hold on.
Okay, sorry. I'm gonna shut up.
You forgot my answer.
Sorry.
Well, no, okay. So
I kind of didn't want that answer.
There's a word. Okay, you already know what I'm gonna say.
I know
there's a word, and I can't believe you started down this path, Will, with the Tommy gun. Oh, wait. Are we exchanging bodies here? Yeah, no. Okay, well, there's the word revolution. It's a revolving thing. And the thing about, humans, we don't escape Mother Nature. There has to be a refreshing. There has to be, so we have this idea that our governments are going to be clean and uncorrupted forever. But you forget that we need that revolving door. Just like anything else in Mother Nature, it's going to no longer be fresh, and it's going to rot. An apple, a little seedling, grows into a tree, produces more apples. Those apples fall to the ground and rot and create a new tree. So we actually need that aspect of revolution. Now, how we remove tyrants, I think that's dictated by the culture and the day and age. Currently, the technology level that separates us and the federal government that should not exist is overwhelming. So the only thing these people fear at this point, because they have all this technology, they have all this weaponry, they have these numbers, the only thing they fear is violence, which is why they're trying to take away our guns. So I think if it ever gets to the point where they're trying to take our guns, unfortunately, we got to use them and remove them and get back on that cycle of revolution. We got to refresh. That's the way it's evolution. That's why we revolve. In with the new, out with the old. When something starts to stink, like these pigs, well, it's time to put them out to the slaughterhouse. I
wish I hadn't on it. I wish I hadn't lagged out while you were giving your response. But I want to respond to your thing about gun confiscation, because the thing is that the government confiscates guns every single day. Right. I've had multiple guns confiscated by the government on multiple different occasions.
Really?
Yeah, I have. Yeah. One was in Leon Valley. Actually, we have I'm working within the system on that. I still have a pending lawsuit after 3.5 years on that. They went into my car and took my gun. It wasn't in my hand at the time when they confiscated it. Actually, that's never how they've confiscated my gun, or most of the time when they confiscate them, they're usually not in somebody's hands. Look at New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina, right, where they went and literally did door-to-door gun confiscation. It's just, and I used to say that if it came to that, I'd fire back. But now that I've actually been in the situation, I realize personally, I'm just not likely to do any violence at all. I really, for me, I feel like the pen is mightier than the sword, but I also feel like everyone's got their job and their duty to do, right?
Right.
We all are going to play a different role. And just because that's not the role for me doesn't, to each their own.
And for people who don't know about that Katrina situation, this was something that was covered up. Over 5,000 people were killed by the authorities during this gun confiscation. Completely covered up.
Well, yeah, I mean, but now in a lot of states they have red flag laws where cops will come take your guns, cops have actually went into somebody's house who didn't have a criminal record. This is just one I remember in Maryland. This happened multiple times. Didn't have a criminal record. He just had a gun. The cops take an oath to protect our right to defend ourselves, and they just broke in and killed the guy. They just murdered the guy. So yeah, this is the type of stuff that's going on. They're disarming us, and then we were like, well, we better get a Republican in there so we can keep our gun rights. And then they take the guns. Then they worry about due process. I mean, no matter who it is, it doesn't make a difference who it is. We're gonna have a slow erosion of our rights. That's gonna be the common theme, unfortunately.
And that's the key too. People are looking for some big event where nationwide or worldwide or nationwide, cops or troops are going door to door to confiscate guns, but that's not the way it happens. It's not the way it's happening, because it is, gun confiscation is happening. It's being done systematically. It's part of the whole divide and conquer. If they were to try to go door to door and take every single gun in the US today, there would be an uprising, and they would be completely defeated and overthrown. That's why they won't do it. They'll do it a little at a time. First, let's take it from, the black people because they're dangerous. And then, the Mexicans, really, because that's where most gun laws came from, right?
Yes.
And then, let's take it from the mentally ill. And by the way, let's label everybody who doesn't believe in us as mentally ill.
Mentally ill. Right.
It's a systematic thing where.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be very slow. And so, I mean, I was talking about that the other day. I mean, even these white guys who usually get off self-defense when they hunt down a black guy and murder him, that's not even happening anymore. The day of the Geechee is gone, as they say. So they can't even do that anymore. They want, that's how they want everybody's guns. And for the simple fact, and I'm trying to impress this upon my Caucasian brothers and sisters as well, is that white privilege is being eroded away. How you were kneeled down and handcuffed and all that stuff. I've been in the same situation. I've literally had 3 black people tell the cops, no, that's not the guy. That's not the guy. Oh yeah, well, we're going to further investigate this, And then it took one white person. It took one white person to come and say, no, that's not the guy. Oh, okay, and they uncuffed me. So, but even that is going to go away because everybody is going to be treated like this soon enough. I mean, I've watched some of these videos of these insane police arrests. They're stopping city councilmen. They're stopping judges. They're not giving a crap anymore. If that's not the judge in their district, they don't care.
That's kind of a good thing, though, right? Because the system is actually eating itself, and that's a beautiful thing, in my opinion.
I think that it's just, if you got a radical judge, you got a radical councilman, they're either going to lose faith in the system and drop out, or they're going to become more of obedient slaves to never be in that embarrassing position again. I think that's the idea. So, yeah, I mean, we had a judge here, and I'm all about family rights and children's rights. We're fighting against, child protective services as well. But there was this judge who reprimanded these kids because they didn't want to go and see their dad when they're ordered to by the court. And this female judge is like, that's your dad. You need to respect him. And your mother has you brainwashed. She addressed the mother's alienation. Okay? And now this judge is on trial. So I'm wanting to find her and support her because it's just ridiculous. If anybody bucks the system, it doesn't matter who you are, you're going to be in that hot seat. So we're going to be in that hot seat. We need to all be there together. We all need to recognize simultaneously and do something about it. But yeah. Will, you had a question.
I got questions for days, obviously. I wanted to go back to something that's a little less consequential, but this is something I think people don't maybe know. So you've been to the border at these checkpoints. Was this coming and going from Canada or Mexico?
No, this was coming and going between. I lived in Texas for a number of years, and most of our family was in Arizona. So we were traveling between states in the United States, and we were making the trip fairly regularly, which is why I got so sick and tired of it.
So basically, most people don't realize this, but the Border Patrol is not even near the border doing checkpoints. Now, it's one thing to have a checkpoint at a border, which I don't even agree with anyways, but that's right. Logical, right? That makes you can follow that pattern.
Right.
But you're telling the people that live up here that these guys will just set up. I mean, that's redcoat-like, that's Nazi-like, they got checkpoints in the middle of the United States. Are you a citizen?
Well, I used to travel from California to Texas, and 80 miles outside of El Paso, we got stopped many times. Yeah, absolutely.
Within 100 air miles of the border of any U.S. border, they'll set up these checkpoints. And just to give people perspective of how many people that affects, 1/3 of the U.S. population lives within that 100 air mile area. So 1/3 of the population is subjected to these checkpoints on a fairly regular basis. There are people in Arizona who have to drive through these checkpoints every single day to get to and from work. And for some of them, they'll be harassed every day, even though it's the same agents that see them coming through every day.
Yeah, and it's pretty weird to even to think about that, because also they don't. It's kind of racist too, because they don't have that. I'm up here in the Northeast, I go up to Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, upstate New York. There's not border patrol out in New York looking for Canadians. You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty weird. It just shows you that's just another level of tyranny to all these other layers. And now I feel like they're laying them on. So what is it like for you the first couple times when you're not awake, and then once you got awake? Well, explain that to folks, because I used to be I'm still get scared sometimes when I get pulled over. My license ain't legit. I'm like, oh damn that.
Well, the first few times I was a bootlicker, and I was like, yeah, you're saving us from those Mexicans who steal jobs. So, the first, few times that I had to go through these checkpoints, I'm like, yeah, thanks, total bootlicking. Yeah, thanks for what you're doing. Yeah, what questions do you want me to answer? Do you want to search the car? I'd do anything they told me or asked me to do. I was just so grateful they were there protecting me from those evil Mexicans, who, by the way, these Mexicans have never harmed me or my family or stopped us and harassed us along the roadside ever before. Let me point that out. Or stolen my job, or, anything that they told me that these guys were going to do. They, on the other hand, have. But it was actually the very first YouTube video that I ever made was a Border Patrol checkpoint. And it was because I was just really kind of starting to realize, this is wrong. And so it ended up being like a 10-minute conversation with the Border Patrol agent where I was like, man, what? Why do you actually think that you have a right to do this to another man? I was trying to get him out of his mentality of I'm law enforcement, I'm special. I was trying to make him realize, like, you think this is right just because someone told you it is? Like, in any other circumstance or situation without that badge on, you would know that this is wrong. And you would expect me to either plow through your checkpoint or do whatever I need to do to escape your threats of violence against me. And I realized afterwards that nothing got through to him. He was getting paid to do this, and he was going to keep doing it. I was just a pain in his ass. But I felt like the conversation and the video at least was able to help other people who saw the video. And really, when I made it, by the way, I was only recording it to show to 3 or 4 friends at home. I had no idea the way that YouTube really worked. but YouTube was the easiest platform to upload this long video and be able to show it to my friends. I had it set to public, and a month later there was 500,000 views on this video.
Oh my God. See, I didn't know that.
Amazing.
I knew that first video. That's a classic. But I did not know that. That goes to show you guys what kind of difference you can make. People, I mean, no, nothing against you, James, but everyone in the chat's like, "Oh my God, James Freeman's a legend," and he is. But the thing is, you could be a legend too. Like, you don't realize how easy it is to be a legend. You just gotta do some shit. You just gotta. It's like going to the gym. Nobody likes to go to the gym that first time, but then after you flex your rights, you're looking in the mirror, you're DMing girls like crazy. You're like, yeah, it feels good. You know what I'm saying? Go flex your rights. It feels good. Get out there and do it. Because James is a legend, and just by doing small stuff, and then you get the ball rolling. It's not like James is doing this 180 hours a week. You know what I'm saying? We all probably should be, but we got to sleep. We got families. We got all the stuff. We got to eat, unfortunately, too. You know. But you brought up a really interesting point, and this is why you are a legend. This is what makes you different from a lot of other auditors that will just go out there and be like, fuck you. Oh, I can't swear on YouTube. Mike, can you bleep that? 11:37. We're on the radio. 11.
Oh boy. I let you off. I'll let you off at least one time, and now you're just rabid with.
We played Wu-Tang last week, and I was like,
yeah.
So I messed up. Sorry, Mikey. The real Mike is behind the boards, and so is Stephen Hawking and Chris Tucker. But the real Mike is behind the boards. The fake Mike goes on screen. I'm the puppet for the real Mike. But yeah, so what makes you different than a lot of other auditors is you have that conversation, and like you said, you're not always going to wake up the person in front of you. I remember when I was at the NSA auditing with Mr. America, these guys came up, we're filming, I do my spiel, Edward Snowden right behind me, and these cops come up and they're like, oh, hey guys, what's going on? I was like, hey, you guys took a note of the Constitution? Yeah, of course, yeah. I was like, well, right behind me is the largest violation of the Fourth Amendment I've ever seen in my life. Let's go round them up, boys. And they're like, get the f out of here right now. And then they detained us again after that. But I want to talk a little bit about that psychology in the conversation, because you might not always wake up that cop, but you get the gears turning in a lot of people's heads. What is that approach like? Have you changed your approach? What have you seen to be successful, or is it case by case based? Talk about that, because I think that's highly important.
Yeah. Gosh, I'm glad you asked. I love your questions here tonight, man. Early on, my first videos for probably about the first year or so, that was always my approach. You wouldn't ever catch me cussing at anybody or really even raising my voice. I would get a little stern, like a father talking to their disobedient child.
I love it, dude. I love it.
But I would never be yelling at him or cussing at him. And then I actually am on my second channel, by the way. My first channel got up to about 80,000 subscribers and it was shut down. And so most of my videos, my original videos, were on that channel. And it was after my channel got shut down, but really it was another event. It was Leon Valley. That actually I started going back and wondering, where did I go wrong? Because I don't know if you realize, but I have started cussing and yelling and being completely and totally irate with these thugs. And one day I was talking to people about it, and I said, I need to go back and find where it was that I slipped and I started doing this. And it was Leon Valley. That was what changed me. I was arrested 2 times within 3 days. And again, being completely calm, always operating within the law, trying to be respectful to everyone around me. I wasn't just arrested. I was slapped with a misdemeanor, and I was slapped with a felony that they maliciously prosecuted me on for 2.5 years, that had my wife constantly worrying, am I going, is he going to prison for 10 years? That was what changed me. And it changed me in a way that I don't like. But over the last little while, I've had to step back and realize, you know what, I'm just too angry, honestly, to be going out there doing this. And I don't think it's effective to be going out there with the same anger that they have. I'm just going to become one of them, which is honestly why I've kind of stepped back and started reviewing videos from the office instead of getting, trying to deal with these guys face to face. Because I don't know, I can't deal with it like I used to.
Yeah, James, let's talk about that next step too. I kind of mentioned things behind the scenes to you. We'll talk about that a little bit in the future too, but I really feel that way too, because now I got cases over my head. I got 2 different cases, one for protesting and one for just being assaulted on a street corner by a police captain. And it gets me mad. And now seeing my boys, Rise of the Moors, arrested for absolutely no reason. Meanwhile, when I would shave my beard and go on FaceApp and make myself look like a 12-year-old kid, and I would catch these wizards and I would give them to the police. Hey, here's the guy. Here's what he did. Here's what he sent. Here's his car. Here's his name. Here's where he works. Nothing. These guys would abuse homeless people, deaf people, and they're just all there on the street corner. And I just get so upset about this. Now I got to take days off of work. It's really, really frustrates you. It's difficult to sleep. Honestly, it's difficult to sleep, at least for me, thinking about the tyranny, thinking about my friends being locked in a cell for no damn reason. It's a very, I mean, it's not as traumatic as other things that we could be going through, but I think something that the general public doesn't understand is when you interact with so many different police, and don't get me wrong, there's a bunch of good police officers. They're very few and far between, but there are a bunch. They're good people. Let's put it that way. They're good people, not good police officers. They're good people.
Yeah, you gotta make a distinction there.
Yes, sure. That's absolutely true. You're absolutely right. So I saw you and James looking at me real funny. You're right.
Like, what the heck?
Yeah, they're good people, but you can't be a good police officer. You can't be a good person that causes violence to other people.
Authority corrupts, man.
And the thing is, people say, Will, don't take all this stuff personal. What do you mean? Like, I internalize a lot of this stuff. When the cops, they're the people that go to somebody's house without a warrant, and they'll take your kids, and then they'll bring them to family court without a jury of your peers, without an open court, and then instead of giving them to your next of kin, they'll give them to some random wizard. You know what I'm saying? So it's frustrating, and it would be a little easier if things were heading in the right direction. And honestly, I thought, I want your take on this here, James and V. I felt for a really long time, from like 2008 at least to 2014, we were progressing. We were getting better. We were waking people up. And then in the era of Trump and the pandemic, I feel like we've taken a few steps back. Would you guys agree with that assessment, or what's your take?
You want to go first, V?
No, go ahead, James.
I'd have to say, Will, you've been awake a lot longer than I have. And I think I talked about this with you the other day. But I think it was right around the time of Trump that I started to wake up, around 2014. I'm trying to remember which election it was. I think it might have been Trump. It was Trump versus Hillary, because I remember listening to The Blaze. He was talking about, one day he said, "Oh, that's it. I'm done with the GOP." And I, the way that things had been going, I was going, "Yeah, man, I'm with you. I'm done with the GOP also." And of course, since I'm constantly looking for a master and a ruler, I'm like, "Where are we going now, Mr. What is his name?"
Glenn Beck.
Glenn Beck. Thank you. And so, being someone who's still looking for a master, I'm like, "Where are we going now, Glenn Beck? Where are you going to take us?" And it was like a week or so later that he says, "Oh, you know what? I prayed to God, and God told me that I should support Ted Cruz in this election." And I went, "Well, horse crap." Now what do I do? And it was a good thing because I really felt all alone at that point. I was like, I got nowhere to go. This isn't right. That doesn't feel right. And that's what started leading me towards the Libertarian Party, and looking at voluntarism. But then on the other hand, we saw a lot of people who were libertarian go and vote for Trump. So I don't know. I mean, all I can say is my personal experiences. And again, I think you have a better perspective because you've been awake a lot longer than I have.
What'd say you about that, B?
Well, first off, I want you to address the person who's told you that you shouldn't be taking it personally. It's the police that shouldn't be taking it personally. Because you have one cop that will, they'll address you, but okay, you're out of your range, you're out of your jurisdiction, please go away. Oh, okay. Then you have the other cops, the majority, that, oh, how dare he? And then they get deeper and deeper into your stuff, get deeper into your business. They should not be taking it personally. And yeah, it's very frustrating taking steps back. Maybe because of coronavirus.
Yeah.
We've lost our rights there, right to do this, right to do that. But otherwise, core strength, I don't think so. And on that note, I didn't have a chance to talk about the YouTube thing here. And to also go along with that question, James, so I'm seeing an influx of YouTubers with their whatever they're fighting for, their trans whatever, or CPS or whatever, and most people get swatted down almost instantly. Get swatted down, but I'm seeing a large influx of auditors. And that cannot happen without some level of support, or at least looking the other way, by YouTube. And so why do you think YouTube is not so aggressive on auditors?
Oh, man, your guys' questions are amazing. I'll tell you what, when the scamdemic started and when the riots were going on, that was a time that I took about a 6-month break from YouTube. I don't think I put out any videos during that 6-month period. And it was because I was starting to realize while I'm against police brutality and government corruption, I could see that there was some type of agenda clearly going on here. And I felt like maybe I might be helping their agenda along. Now, the fact that police are corrupt and the government is corrupt, it doesn't negate the fact that that's true. But I was worried, this whole defund the police thing that was coming along, right? I'm all for defunding the police. But when the mainstream is saying it, I'm going, wait a minute, what is their real plan? And I don't want to be a part of helping with that. And really what I saw their main plan as is, I thought that their main plan was, yes, let's defund these local police and maybe bring in feds or, UN. I mean,
Feds,
government,
UN, and robots is what they're exactly trying to do. You're exactly right.
Right, because government doesn't give up power, right? And even status, you talk about getting rid of something and they always say, well, what are we going to replace it with then? And I'm like, look, there's a dog crap on the floor in the middle of the living room. We need to get rid of it. Why are you talking about replacing the dog crap, in the middle of the floor? We don't need to replace it. It just needs to not be there. But yeah, I think that the reason they allow this to happen is because really defund the police that we can bring in the feds is part of an agenda. And so I try to work with what I see going on, though, to do and say the things that I'm allowed to do and say, but while trying to make sure and expose the real truth. And, if I'm doing it right, great. If not, I wish I was.
Well,
if you can't talk to if you're crap and you can't talk to other crap, I think you'd be lonely. Lonely and scared. I'm sorry. Go
yeah.
ahead,
Well, and this is something else we can talk about too. We will only give it a little bit of time here. we're going to come up at a break at the top of the hour in about 6 or 7 minutes, but we'll give them a little bit of time because I love talking about them. You know, I know you deal with them, James, probably a lot more than me, but there are the bootlickers and the haters, and I want you to wonder too, maybe are some of these feds or some of these cops, I don't know, but they're crazy, and they'll always hit you up and say all this stuff. And as far as getting to their psychology and trying to wake them up, they'll always say, well, you're out there, you're not doing anything, you're doing this, doing that. Well, at least James Freeman is trying. At least he's out there doing something. A lot of these people are just criticizing from the sidelines. You should have done this, you should have done that. Hey, Will, you ever watch Am Against the Press? Why don't you learn how to be a real auditor? So what's your take on the bootlickers in general, and how we can maybe reach them? First, rail on them, get them really bad, and then maybe we can get a solution. Get them, James! No, just kidding. But if you have to, I won't be mad. No, but some of these people, go ahead. I'll give my take after. Oh, there's some static there. Like,
Is it on my end?
I think that's V, actually.
I'm sorry, what?
V, could you mute for a sec?
Someone hacked your computer, V.
That was
Sounds like someone's blowing up a balloon. It's the bootlickers. They've invaded.
You started talking about them, and here they are.
Yeah. What's your take on because there's people that are just bootlickers, but then are there other people that do other things too? And what's going on here?
Oh man, that's the thing, is that despite what the government wants us to think, that we should all be lumped into these groups and these categories, people are people. We're all individuals, and so everybody out there has got their own agendas, and even you and I, we have some things in common. We have some things that are different about us, and so there's all of it out there. There's people who are genuinely bootlickers who don't have a clue and don't want to have a clue, and they're hopeless, and that's fine. I allow them to comment on my I don't delete their comments or anything, because it's good for the algorithm to have that debate and discussion, and even if it's complete trash in the comment section. And then besides that, as far as other quote auditors, oh man, all right, should we get into this really?
Well, no, I didn't want to get into auditors. I was actually talking about, because my personal take is I have nothing against any auditor, anybody that's going out there, and even if they're only doing activism to get fame, first of all, you're an idiot. That's not the place to do it. Or if they're just doing it to get money off YouTube, it's still better than working for the government or working for a multinational corporation. So I have nothing negative to say about any auditors. Let me make that clear. I'm actually talking about, I was trying to alley-oop you into the fact that, hey, what do you think? I'll just be much more specific. Do you think that some of these people, we know some of them are cops, but are they cops? Are they feds? Why are they commenting? Are they on duty? Are they off duty? Like, what's up with that?
And when you say they're cops, you're talking about commenters, not people that are alleged auditors.
I've seen a lot of that, actually.
You know what, too? Yeah. That now, if you have some auditors that are actually cops, I've been hearing about that going on in the UK. Where there are people posing. So yeah, speak to that too.
There's absolutely no movement or anything that goes on, whether it's LGBT or police accountability or anything, any movement that's not infiltrated by the government. That I don't believe for 1 second there's anything out there that's not infiltrated. So yes, there's guys who pick up a camera and record police who are police. And I do want to talk to that. That's why.
Actually, good. Because I thought I didn't want to. I didn't think you would do this for some reason, but I don't know why I thought. No, I didn't want to hear it and trash talk anybody unless they are a cop. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad we got that on the table, because this is important.
But really, what it came down to, and for years, actually, I stayed away from just about everybody. And people were like, oh, James is just a snob. He won't come on anybody's show. He won't work with anybody because he's a snob. No, it's because I knew dang well that that's the way it is. That, there's a chance that anybody that I work with is going to be a pig. And really, you may or may not be able to spot them. But what I started telling people was, you know what? My question is just, what is your message? Honestly, even if you are a pig, but you're spreading the message of voluntarism, that you're spreading the message that people don't have a right to initiate force against other people, which, you know, obviously that's contradictory being a pig. But my question is always, what is the message that you're sending?
That's a good good question, because you know, when the dog, you ask him to speak, you know, all I hear is "Roo, roo," you know.
Can we play
So-
Mike? Can we play Hillary going out where she's barking?
I I know we're coming up on the top of the hour break here, and I want to definitely say, guys, if you're not on tlbtalk.com, get there, okay? This show is actually brought to you by tlbtalk.com, and not just oh, Mike, you don't have it ready for me. I mean, Will, these guys are starting to blend together to me. Having now multiple producers for the show, since we're all video casting now.
I actually
guys,
did about a 15-minute promo for TLB Talk before the show. I wanted to show James.
we're recording now.
Yeah,
right?
No, I was recording too. I was live on YouTube recording, and we're
Okay. Well, we're recording for the official show that will appear on KGRA.
That's right,
guys. Make sure you go to tlbtalk.com. It is our platform. We're getting rid of Facebook with your support. No corporate owners, no state masters. It's owned by you, the people. So stop in, donate $5, $10, $20. Donate whatever you want. We have a free and open platform. I want all my auditors here. You can put all your documentations here. Now, Facebook won't let you show documentation. Oh, you get treated like you're moving around a virus. Nope, we have documentation. So, guys, please, 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 please do your absolute best to get onto the network of free speech. Okay? And that way, we don't have to worry about YouTube. We don't have to worry about Facebook. We don't have to worry about anybody censoring us. We have dedicated servers, not Amazon. CIA won't be shutting us down. Okay? It's just us.
This is your emergency broadcast system.
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back, guys.
All capital buildings and cities are under siege by the United States government to quell the domestic terrorist threat. All residents of urban neighborhoods and cities are being ordered to stay in their homes until the threats are eliminated. If you disobey orders, you could be shot on sight by rogue agents, federal forces, and domestic terrorist militias. This is your emergency broadcast system. This is a national alert. Imminent threat is nationwide. You must stay in sight of your homes or risk being shot on sight. The conspiracy is upon you. Your conspiracy friends were right all along. Now you must learn to survive. If you hear this, you are the resistance. This is your emergency broadcast system. The conspiracy is upon you. Your conspiracy friends were right all along. Now you must learn to survive. If you hear this, you are the resistance.
Are you sick of censorship? TLB Talk is the cure. TLB stands for Truth, Liberty, and Balance. We are the newest and most unique social media platform to hit the internet. We were built out of necessity because big tech, big pharma, and big brother are out of control. The only thing bigger than them is when we, the people, are united. With that vision, TLB Talk was born. Our battlefield is in cyberspace. The battle we're in can be won by clicks of buttons and voting with your wallet. TLB Talk has no hidden agendas, no corporate funding, and we do not sell, trade, or give away any of your information. Our platform runs off of generous donations of members and merchandise profits. So please, check out our site. It's the best around, and be sure to stop by our store. It's loaded with items that'll have you feeling a sense of member.
All right. Did Bill show you
Keep
how
in
to
mind,
do
we're still. Let me just say two things before you start. First of all, we're still live on my YouTube channel, and
Okay.
second of all, you're a little staticky. There's something going on with your static.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
you're supposed to play KGRA's ad.
I am?
During the break. Okay, he didn't show you how to do this stuff. Okay.
Oh, I didn't even get the ad. I got the promo.
Well, it's all there.
Where?
It's the ad wrap. Right underneath the show intro and the video sections.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna have to. Yeah, we didn't go over that. So
Okay, well that's what I was asking about. Okay.
I'm like, me playing an ad. Jeez, what?
Yeah, you are now the co-producer of the show.
Oh, Mike, move over, Mike. Now we got two on this love seat.
Yeah, you're doing KGRA side, and Mike is going to do RBN side.
I'm a producer, bitch. I'm throwing that on the resume. Hey guys, I'm a producer now. Love me.
Can you say the B word on the radio?
We could say bitch and ass, and I still.
Just not be too. Don't be too vulgar with it.
Yeah, I don't know, Mike. Can we say the C word? That's a no-no, right?
No.
Okay. That's so
Pootie tang.
Pootie tang.
You have to be kind. Be kind. I know. I want to say it a lot of times too. Trust me.
It's the funny thing is, like, that word's not even a cool word, but I just love how that word just gets some people so mad. Like this, that always, like, I never thought that was like that bad of a word, and like you could say F and all this other stuff, but if you say the C word, it's like, oh my gosh, people start losing it, and I love having that effect on people. So I look for
Bao used that word to break the entire city of Tucson. They created a brand new ordinance just because he called a cop that word.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I'll send you some links to some shortened down videos of how that all went down.
Oh my God. Yeah, I've seen a few of his videos, and they were pretty awesome. He's very well in command of himself in his area. He's funny dude. He's a funny dude. So I'll have to check that out. I enjoy his videos. All right,
Here we go.
Are we coming back?
Yeah.
All right. Ooh, all right. Let's just go ahead and hop back in here because that is copyright music. I totally forgot about that. Even though it's an instrumental, it's still copyright. I ain't flagged. We gotta go through some of the things here. So we're experimenting. Well, I mean, I guess this is more of a trial. I should say we're having a little trial here as we are having to fit the format of our show to fit other stations. And so other stations broadcast certain places like YouTube, things like that simultaneously. We're obviously doing our own broadcasting. And it's awesome. We're all working together, spreading the message. Anyhow, yes, this is the second hour of the Red Pill Hardcore Radio Show. And we have James Freeman here with us. Wait, what was it? James Free Range Slave Man?
Yeah.
I like that. Oh, wow. Are you going to go? Do you ever go all sovereign citizen?
Oh, gosh. I don't know. What does that mean?
Well, you know, I'm not that person. I'm a man, living man. I'm not subject to your law, and you know, no,
I haven't.
That I don't. That's not my name. That's a corporation. But you can call me, you know, Spaghetti Man 2000. That's how you should address me. You know, that stuff.
No, haven't gone full sov sit.
Okay.
If that's what it is.
I gotta comment on that, especially lately too. I've been having these bootlicker channels. They do these videos about me, and they call me the bowel movement. And someone says in the chat, that's funny. Oh, I've been the wrong. But massive respect to Auditing Whales too. But the bowel movement, that was awesome. But yeah, they say you're a sovereign citizen. You think you're a sovereign citizen? Hey, idiot! You can't be sovereign and a citizen
And
at
a
the same
citizen.
time. It's an oxymoron. It can't happen, you bootlicker. You can't be a citizen and a sovereign. Imagine if Kim Jong-un or Kim Jong-il or King George, they were sovereign citizens. Well, how is that going to work? How are you going to be a citizen of yourself? You're not, because you're sovereign. That means no one rules over you. You can't be both at the same time. So that's just to clarify there. To be a citizen is to be a bootlicker, someone says. I would say so. Yeah, I would. I don't know what James' take is on that or V's take, but I mean, I think let's talk because the most important thing we're going to talk about is next. But before we do that, James, on screen we have your merch site. How can people help you out? How can people? First of all, there's a lot of dope designs here. There's Land of the Fees, Home of the Slaves. Hopefully, it'll get you on TLB Talk. It looks you got these and you got the mug that you're drinking out of now. So how can people find your YouTube channel, support you, get this merch? I put the link in the chat again.
Yeah, my YouTube channel is James Freeman. I'm also on Facebook, but I don't do as much there. And yeah, if you want to link to the merch store, it is in the description on, I believe, most of my videos on my YouTube channel. I think it's also in the description of the channel somewhere.
It's in the description of the about on your YouTube channel. So everyone just go find James Freeman on YouTube. It's going to be the first one, obviously. He's got nearly 400,000 subs now. I'm just going to go in the about section of his YouTube channel. I'll pull it up again here on screen. And cop the merch so you can help James, because James got all this stuff that he's dealing with, and you're spreading the message as well at the same time.
Yeah, and just to let you know too, I do have face masks available as merch on my site, and if you buy one, you need to unsubscribe from my channel and walk away. because you shouldn't be wearing that.
I don't think you could have even got one over your old beard anyway. So, and that's the thing. The whole science behind all of this stuff is crazy. But let's save that for a little bit. People are asking in the chat, is being a citizen a bootlicker? And you talked about earlier, I was looking for a new master. What does that even mean? Talk about voluntarism, talk about the non-aggression principle, because there's still a lot of people. Put one in the chat if you've heard of voluntarism, two if you have not, because it's a radical, not really new idea, but it's totally radical in the way that Michelangelo and Donatello would describe it.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I just zoned out. What was question one?
Well, no, that's the thing I always do. I throw 7 questions at.
Well, let me hop in and state for myself and get James on track here. People are lost without a master. It seems as though people, if they don't have that authority figure, someone telling them what to do, they would lose their minds. And, it's not like how we're supposed to be. You have a child, you teach that child everything you know, you teach that child to create things, to make things with his own hands, to make his own destiny. No, you got people born into the system that if they're unplugged, oh my God, what do I do now? Where's my master? And so, I mean, how do you feel about that?
Gosh, that's how I was. I think we were all born into this system. Oh, and as far as the first question about citizen, I mean, it quite literally means subject. I mean, that's Google's definition. A citizen is a subject of a ruler or a master. I was born into the same indoctrination. Gosh, I was raised with it. I was raised in a church. I was a Boy Scout who learned all about obedience and citizenship. And I went through the whole indoctrination system, even more so than a lot of people, I think, because I actually became an Eagle Scout too. I was hardcore into swearing my allegiances to flags, believing in this entire religion. And, you end up on a whole new journey when you start to realize that, you're actually responsible for yourself. And you know, and I don't know, we hear about this as we're growing up. Hey, you need to go to school, you need to get an education because eventually you're going to be responsible for yourself and you're going to have to take responsibility. Well, that's not really true, right? The majority of society is completely controlled throughout their entire lives. We're told everything that we can and can't do throughout our entire lives. And so the realization that you're being ruled, I think it's a little difficult. At first, I think that's why cognitive dissonance kicks in when you tell people that they shouldn't have a ruler. Because at first I go, well, wait a second. Well, how do I make these decisions and those decisions? And I guess when you first start to realize that you were being ruled, you didn't even realize how much you were not allowed to make your own decisions. And so I think that initially, one of the first things that you do when you start to realize you're being ruled by a ruler is you just look for another ruler. Maybe, I don't know. That's kind of what I did. I was like, oh, this ruler sucks. I need a new one. Does that answer the question at all?
I think so. But well, okay. So on the subject of how you're talking to the police, I wanted to get into this. The anger. Now, I know you have anger is a strong word. I would say righteous indignation. When you talk to these police officers, and I've noticed actually myself how you have gotten a little bit more than stern. You've gotten quite that righteous anger. You've had that, and for the simple fact that you do that, what does that do for you at the end of the day? Do you feel like that you are making more progress? Are you striking fear into the hearts of these corrupt cops? Are you I mean, at some point as an activist, you just stop giving a damn and you start going for the gusto. And so do you feel as though that you're making progress with it? I guess is my question.
I think when I started to get angry and be less patient.
Yes.
Yeah, there is. What's the word you use? Righteous
indignation or righteous anger.
Okay. You know, that's one thing, but I think a lot of times when I was getting angry, it was not righteous indignation. It was me becoming the monster that I was trying to fight. I think that when, you know, there's a difference between, there were times that I've kind of yelled and been stern, but I wasn't actually upset. It was just a show that I was putting on to try to establish dominance over somebody who's trying to rule and dominate me.
Right.
And there's a big difference between that and truly actually being upset. And once you're angry, you have lost control of yourself. And as soon as you lose control of yourself, anyone around you gets to take that control. And so there's been a lot of times where people mistakenly believed I was angry because I was yelling and being stern and you know, again, just putting on this facade, like, you know, trying to make myself look really big to scare the scary monster. But it's only been the times when I'm genuinely upset, which I did get into that situation a few times, where you're losing when you get mad. That's my opinion. You lose every single time you get mad again, because then you're giving somebody else control over you. And that's the instances where there's been a few where I have to step back and say, all right, that's enough. I need to step back, recenter, find myself again, find what I came here for again, you know, gain my strength and my control over myself back before, you know, stepping back into the ring.
Okay.
That's important, man. I'm actually learning a lot from what you're telling me right now, because I pretty much do this nonstop and kind of brag about that. But there's always different. It's not always like, I feel like sometimes if I don't go out and be somewhere in person, that I'm not doing my job. Like I'm not doing enough. And honestly, you get more views when you just go out as opposed to if you're sitting having a conversation. So I think just thinking about this now, I'm gonna have to go out and have a little more calmness, not even just audit, get people to watch. I'll do audits, but have conversations out. I think I'm glad you have that thought process. And another thing I like about you, James, is you're open-minded enough to change your mind, and you do it many times. I think it's important that everybody that goes down this rabbit hole, or just in general, keeps an open but skeptical mind about things. And that really shows how humble of a person you are. It takes a truly humble person to be able to say, yeah, I was wrong. I've been had by this. I've been had by that. Or not even, you have some new information that I see, and I'm going to rework that. Because a lot of the reason why people are in where the position we are now is because one psychological study says, what is it? We edit up to 50% of the information that we get on a daily basis to conform to our worldview. And so there's a lot of tricks going on. So speak to that a little bit too. We talked about Edward Bernays earlier and some of these people playing the tricks. Why do you think we are so gullible as a people? Is it because we're tribal? Is it because they got chemicals in the food and the water? Is it because of brainwashing in the schools? What do you think the main reason is that, from my perspective, we've had over a short-term history, we've had some victories. In the last couple of years, it wasn't so good. But if you look at it a little more long-term, it's always tough to say. But why do you think people are so docile and complacent nowadays? Is it the screen time?
Oh gosh, man, I don't even know. There was a lot of questions there too.
Yeah, that's my worst. I'm just saying, like, why is it? Do you think that people are so complacent when it comes to all the things going on, especially in the last couple of years where the tyranny is ramping up?
Okay. I think that people are complacent when they're at least when they're comfortable. Because this is how I am. Naturally, it feels like my natural state is that if I'm comfortable with the things that I have, and you're not, my comfort isn't being disrupted too much, then I don't want to stand up and make waves, because I don't want to lose what I have. Even if I'm losing a lot of what I have, I don't want to lose the rest of it. Does that make any sense?
Right. Absolutely.
I think that most people had to be pushed to a certain point where so much has been taken from them before they'll stand up and do or say anything. And unfortunately, history shows that by the time we get to that point where most people are willing to stand up, it's way too late.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I really think, and it's definitely by design, of course. Outside of the food, the water, all these things that are manipulated, and the media, it's really, I would like to refer to Nietzsche. So God is dead, right? So that means you have a bit of nihilism. And if God is dead, the only supreme authority that you have in your life is the government. That's why the government did its best to become secular. And so that is, an affront to humanity right there. They just prepped us big time for the fall. So I really, I'm glad that you asked that question. The nihilism is the big problem for sure. And so, Mr. Freeman, how many states have you done this in, by the way? You're auditing.
Oh gosh. I'm going to say at least 10. I'd have to count. Let's see. You want me to run through them real quick?
Well, no, I'm wondering, how many times have you been arrested?
One.
Oh boy, he's got to count.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, a lot.
Well, the point of my question is because there is. Okay, you reacted to the establishment and its regular rigmarole. Now, the people I represent, the people that I usually help and talk to, are targeted individuals. These are people who have preemptively had a campaign, I mean a campaign of harassment put on them by police, feds, legal system, corporate entities, and it's just put on them until, they clock out. Has anything like that appeared in your life? Do you feel as though maybe somebody may start targeting you because of what you're doing?
Do I feel like they may?
Or
Yeah,
are they?
sometimes yes. No, I don't think that they have.
Okay.
At this point. Actually, if anything, I think I've been incredibly lucky in everything that I've done, because I have poked the bear a lot. And like you're saying, I know that there are people who have been targeted who haven't pissed off nearly as many people as I've pissed off. Now, I think that it also comes down to sometimes who you piss off, and sometimes you only have to piss off one person, but it's the right person to screw you over. For example, I did a little thing at a CPS in Tucson, Arizona. And that was the only time that I really did something where I was like, man, you know what? This is really, really important. And information about what's going on with CPS needs to get out. And actually, that was also the only time that I received a genuine death threat, because I receive death threats all the time, actually, or not all the time, but fairly frequently. And I know that they're just keyboard warriors who are, have nothing better to do. They're not going to carry it out. That was the only time that I received a threat against my family, my children, and my life that I knew was credible.
You can't mess with that a little bit. And the children.
No, I'm not going to talk about that a little, because honestly, I stopped exposing it because it's real, and because I do have children, and because I said, you know what, I'm leaving this to somebody who doesn't have kids, because this is as real as it gets.
Yeah.
That's why we do what we do.
Go ahead, James. Sorry.
Well, so I feel like part of it is that honestly, I've just been lucky that I haven't been, I've been maliciously prosecuted. But in reality, when I really look at what happened to me, as opposed to what happens to most people who get maliciously prosecuted like I did also end up in prison. I didn't. So, I've dealt with some of this stuff, but not nearly on the level that a lot of other people have. Maybe it's just because I'm lucky, but then also I do try to walk away once I realize, oh crap, I just dug into something real. And it's really unfortunate. You can't expose that stuff without going into complete and total hiding.
And that's part of the reason that people stay away from it. That's one of the things certain people in my family will say too. Well, you can't change it anyways. Don't stick your head out. I even have my mom saying, well, I understand the First Amendment, but I worry about you, and and it's that's why we all have to do something. And I agree with what James just said. You got to pick your battles. That doesn't mean don't do any battles, but you got to pick your battles for sure. Never give up, and always pick your battles. But yeah, you should leave the CPS fighting to people that don't have kids. And I'll tell you a prime example of why. Everyone go find riseofthemoors.org and Rise of the Moabites. Me, Jamal, and Juju, we were protesting CPS at the State House. I got arrested. Later, Juju got arrested. And then Jamal got arrested. None of us have criminal records. None of us have ever called for violence, ever. Jamal served this country honorably. Heavy air quotes in the Marines. His father was an Air Force veteran. And they're on the verge of, because they were protesting CPS, both going to jail, and now CPS coming to take their kids. So you got to be careful. You got to be strategic, but we have to have some type of resistance. And James does more than enough. But you're right. We gotta be strategic about what we do. And there's something that I try to tell people very frequently is you have to use the talents that you have. You have to use the talents that you personally have, and parlay those, sway those into a judo chop against the system. Because I mean, and people like me, I'm not even necessarily good at anything, but I just like, all right, what am I going to do? What I'm going to try to do? I'm going to go out there. I'm going to try to be better. So same thing with James. James was talking to you about how his development and how he's psychologizing about the moves he's making, and then he's taking the temperature. How did this work? Let me go back and look at this. He's like a scientist when it comes to this activism, and it's a very important thing that we do, and we need to take some nonviolent action. Welcome back, James. So
I was listening, by the way, on my phone while I had dropped out here.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about. I mean, are we taking this break in a couple minutes here, or are we skipping that last break?
Actually, you know what? We're gonna take it straight through. Let's go.
All right, so let's get into this. I want to take a little bit of time on this because this is new to certain people. What is voluntarism? What is voluntarism?
I'm going to tell you that voluntarism is the non-aggression principle. If you guys disagree, go ahead and throw your input in. But I believe that voluntarism is the non-aggression principle, which says that nobody has the right to initiate force against another individual. That all transactions and interactions should be voluntary. So put into real life terms, that means that I don't get to force you to do things that I want you to do. And creating a magical entity and calling it government doesn't change these principles, that these principles are constant and true no matter what gets written on paper and called legislation or anything like that.
So a lot of, I mean, even myself, like when I was, like you said, I've been awake for many years, but
wait, hold on. Oh, so you can tell me, never once in your life have you never volunteered up or offered a good ass kicking to anybody?
but the guys,
I find it hard to believe.
Well, there are certain situations in certain states where that person's ass could hypothetically volunteer to that. You know, and actually, in technically all states they could do it. Depends anywhere. You know, it depends on how you get down. But so, I myself was a super I went down every rabbit hole, but I always assumed that you had to have a government. I was a Ron Paul libertarian. And it wasn't until like maybe 5 or 6 years ago that I got into voluntarism, and immediately I had all these questions. Well, what would you do in this situation? What would you do in that situation? You just have to have government. It's one of those things that you can't imagine your life without it. Does Freeman know Adam Kokesh? People, we'll get to your questions in a sec. We'll open it up to you guys, and we'll open up the number too, so you guys can actually. I'll give out the number right now. It's 512-248-8252. I'll put in the chat 512-248-8252. There's also an 800 number, but don't call that number. 512-248-8252. Find us on republicbroadcasting.org. You can find all of our past casts. That's Red Pill Hardcore Radio. You can find us. You can find the links to listen. There's a whole bunch of news articles. Donate. This is one of the few places we have left that actually supports free speech. And you know, we can even swear a lot of the times too. So
well, I have to say, we got to give out the number. It's 800-313-9443. The reason why I wouldn't bother with it either, but the reason why I've actually been contacted by a lot of people on TLB Talk that are in South Africa, Belgium.
That's true.
We're focusing on the U.S. for TLBTalk.com, but somehow people listening to this show has hopped on from around the world, and I don't want to exclude them. So.
Well, I do. Make America great again. They took our jobs.
Okay.
It's because of the desire for liberty. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, toll-free numbers, I don't think those usually work internationally unless somebody's maybe on Skype. I think they're going to need that local number more than that, toll-free number. And if they're using Skype, I know we can get a lot of international calls over Skype if people have that subscription. I don't think the 800 numbers work on Skype though. But anyway, just quick note there.
One more time, the number is 512-248-8252. Was it 82? Yeah, 8252. I put the wrong number in the chat. Sorry.
Don't confuse them. Don't confuse them.
Yeah, 248-8252. I put the wrong number in the chat. I'm reading it like idiot. So so you call in with your questions for James, or we'll open it up to the comments here too. But I prefer you guys call in.
Call in. We don't
call in. Yeah,
we're
not gonna take comments because you guys see I can't even type. So yeah, we'll take calls. The number's on screen: 512-248-8252 to talk to James Freeman. Find James Freeman on YouTube. Buy his merch. Support him. James Freeman on Facebook. Find him on all platforms. Buy some merch. Tell him good old fake Michael sent you. So, what are some of the ways you talk to statists? And maybe what are some of the popular things that people will give you as, well, what about this?
So, when I talked, I'm actually going to not answer your question, and I'm going to tell you how I talk to anarchists or people who are kind of libertarian leaning, So Larkin Rose defines anarchy as no government. But the way that he defines government is the use of coercion, the use of threats of violence to get what you want. Now, I'm not against many of the programs that exist through government. I'm not against these things existing. A security force to protect life, liberty, and property. They call it police through the government. I'm not against something like that existing. I'm only against the coercion used to make it exist. I'm not even against a court system. I think that if you and I have a disagreement on something, that we should be able to go to an arbitrator if we can't get it figured out between the two of us, and have that arbitrator, help us figure things out. My only problem is when that's not voluntary, when that system is paid for by taxation, by stealing money from V, who doesn't want to go to arbitration, so that he can pay for us to go to arbitration. Almost anything that the government does, there are a lot of things actually they do that I don't think should exist at all, such as public education. But again, education can exist through voluntarism. Whether and people who will use the excuse, well, then poor people wouldn't get an education, right? I think that society has definitely proven over time that we can and will voluntarily donate and contribute to things that we believe in. There are non-profit. Go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, and not exclude people, include everybody. I think we've grown that far, haven't we?
Well, something that I definitely would support James' point would be every time you see a tragedy in the news, whether it's Hurricane Katrina or Hurricane Harvey, you saw the redneck Navy out there helping people. You saw neighbors helping people. You saw the fact that the government not only during Katrina couldn't help you, but they actually made things worse and they took your guns away. I mean, even when something happens in Haiti, people are so generous, they'll give all their money away to the Bush and Clinton Foundation. So there's nothing, human beings have empathy. And I would like to believe that Americans are charitable people. However, this is not charity. So could you speak to that? How this is not, why is this not voluntary? How is this not voluntary? I mean, I pay taxes. I mean, that's, it's the cost of living in a civilized society.
Right. And you don't get any choice in that. Taxation is coercion. And, I think that the founders, people love to talk about their founding daddies. And
I'm going to steal that. Yeah, that's funny. Founding daddies.
And I think they had some great ideas. They even talked about individuals being sovereign and having the right that all men, by the way, not all men born on this continent called the United States of America, but all men are created equal and endowed by their creator with certain inalienable rights. They talk about these things, but then, in the Declaration of Independence, but then they flip right around and they write this thing called the Constitution and write in there that Congress has the right to levy taxes, or in other words, Congress has the right to take what you have earned through voluntary interactions and transactions with your fellow men. They are saying they have the right to take it from you without your consent. And it's always under the guise of, well, we're going to do something good for you. We're going to offer you protection, or we're going to offer you this or that. The same as a mafia, right? We're coming in, our thugs are going to bust down your door. We're going to take a percentage of your money, but hey, it's cool because we're going to offer you protection and some other services that you wouldn't have otherwise. Well, and when you say no, what does the mafia do? Well, they come and they smash a brick through your window and ask if you need protection now.
Yeah.
So the only difference between the mafia and the government is the mafia turns a profit. The government is $29 trillion in debt.
Well, and you're forgetting one aspect too. And when you do pay that protection money and you go in to use those services, oh no, it's just denied to you because whatever agenda. Sorry, it's not your lucky day.
I saw that in the movie. Yeah. Have you seen the movie Legend by any chance?
Will Smith? Yeah.
No, not I Am Legend.
No,
not I Am Legend, but Legend. It's about. It's about. Oh man, what were their names? It was a mafia in London.
No, I've not seen it.
I'm trying to remember what their names were. But anyways, these mafia brothers, so this guy comes to him who's paid them for protection, right? And in the movie, and he says, "Hey man, I paid you for protection. These guys came by the other day and they roughed me up. So can you take care of them?" And the guys that they paid for protection goes, "What?" And he beats the guy they had paid for protection, also beats the crap out of him, and says, "Man, quit your bitching and quit your whining and stuff." Okay. And he also roughs him up, pops him in the nose, breaks his nose. And then he tells him, if you want me to take care of it, it'll cost you $2,000. So he's already paid for the protection. Anyways, and I went, man, this is just like government.
Yeah. That's the lawyer fee. That's the bill that you got, shouldn't the taxes take care of that? No, you got to pay a lot more.
Yeah. And one thing is, because I'm kind of new relatively to the idea of voluntarism, like I said, over the last 4, 5, 6 years. And so sometimes I'll have questions put to me, and I'm still developing like different ways of responding. And because I want to understand like the best ways to try to let people know what's up and try to have my ideas conveyed. I'm trying to work on that rhetoric. One of the points that I will make though is every excuse, and we'll get to we do have a caller here.
We got callers.
We got a caller, so we'll go to him after I make this brief point. Every time the government gives you an excuse for something, like they do X, they actually do not only not what they're supposed to do, most times they do the literal opposite. So anyone can bring any idea up there, whether it's healthcare or school or defense or freedoms. They literally don't do it, and they do the opposite. So without further ado, let's go to our caller. I believe this is.
We got Nick in Cleveland. So let's
fun time. Have you guys seen Hastily Made Cleveland tourism video?
No.
Well, we're gonna watch that after this. So go ahead, Nick.
All right.
Nick, have you seen Hastily Made Cleveland tourism video?
No, have not.
Well, you gotta see it.
All right, you got a question or comment?
Yeah, kind of like more of like a comment. I mean, I heard a few things. I heard James talk about Glenn Beck. I too thought, that was kind of like a way to go. Worked with a guy third shift, told him about it. He's like, yeah, you got to listen to Alex Jones, you know. So I kind of went down that path for a couple of years. And like when I kind of realized, like, I'm like, if I can try to get to the bottom of things as fast as possible, like that's the best way. And I kind of heard that like the elite would kind of like, they kind of like say, hey, we do like ritual magic, we do blood magic, we do all this sort of like crazy stuff. But about a year later, I was like, well, if that's what they're doing, like, why don't I just kind of like look into it, like scared, you know, dip my toes in it. Like, why don't I kind of just look into it and just see what they're saying they do? And I ended up finding like a bunch of manuals that are just like, you can use magic for good just as you can use it for bad. So I just thought I practically daily used certain things, like very, very small, like things we already do. And it just teaches you to do it with more focus. And I don't know exactly how much this will fit into your show, but I just thought I'd put it out there.
Actually, you can expand upon that. This is all about free speech, and that's interesting, man. We're not trying to censor anybody. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Well,
Yes, it is.
you know, a law book is a book of sorcery in itself. You know, these laws, these codes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No black magic.
And they're all wizards too. You guys know
the magistrates.
They're all wizards.
So
Yeah.
So basically, like, I was kind of interested in like finding out. Okay, so like there's this group out there called the Freemasons, and like where did they get their information from? Okay, well, it seems like they kind of took it from like Greece. They kind of took it from Egypt, and you just keep going down the line. It's like this stuff. We have been kind of programmed to not think that it's as valuable as it can be, and it's occulted, and ooh, we got to stay away. That's scary. But really, if you just kind of look into it, it's like basically it's like certain elements just have properties that we were purposely not taught. Like water can be programmed with your thought. Just things, small things like that along the lines. And I used some of it pretty dedicatedly, like just nothing crazy. I'm not doing any like crazy rituals, but everything we do is already a ritual. They just kind of told us how to do most of it and kind of hit a bunch of stuff. So I can just say this: the best book I ever found was a book called Initiation into Hermeticism by a guy named Franz Barden. Very, very practical. And that's what I was looking for, is like, what am I going to do? Like, am I going to just be scared about all this crazy information, or like, what can I actually do? And that like really helped me change a lot of things for the better.
It's called Initiation into Hermeticism. Who's the author, please?
Franz Barden.
Franz Barden.
And yeah, you can get a free PDF online, or you can just like buy the book from Amazon for like $15.
It's definitely in my collection of PDFs. I've read it. Getting very esoteric on the show right now. Do you have anything to say to that, James?
This is way beyond anything I understand, and I'm just going to quietly listen. I'd love for him to go on.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, like you said before, I strongly agree. Everything we do is already ritualistic, and I've already seen all of the black magic. Okay, so I mean, I see the state using it all the time. I see people around me using it all the time. So
it's even encoded in our words. In our words that we use, it's very, very encoded in our words. That's why, be careful what you wish for, be careful what you say, things like that. Like at this point, hopefully most people know this, but like to me, a few years ago, this was brand new information, where like the word govern comes from Latin, gubernare comes from men's, Greek men. The Greek word ment just literally means to control the mind. It's like, so when we're saying like certain things, like a lot of times we don't even know exactly what we're saying. So it's just bringing up some points, and
that was actually a
love
challenge
everybody's work.
That was a challenge that I put out to people, and to ask their local representative, governor, whoever, city councilman, and ask them, what does government mean? And they will give you any answer other than gubernare mente, mind control.
Right, because it's been hidden from all of us. We're all kind of in the same boat.
Yeah.
So hold on tight there, Nick. You're a great caller. I'm actually gonna piggyback off of this real quick. But before I do, Joe Cool in the chat says RBN. He's because you're on screen as RBN, but it's Nick in Cleveland. He asks, we've never had a question for a caller, so this is cool. Is there a difference between good and this is for everybody, is there a difference between good and evil? Are both means to an end?
You said, or both are means to an end?
The first question is there a difference between good and evil? And the follow-up, are both of them means to an end?
Okay, so just to answer the first question, I think that is there a difference between good and evil? Yes, because just because truth is objective, it is not subjective. There's a lot of like the infiltration of our teachings has been watered down, and like satanic whatever type of teachings get mixed in on purpose to gatekeep people. And so truth is objective. You can either get in line with it, or you can play the games of being like a human, thinking that you're kind of like more than a what I'm trying to say, like they're trying to trick people into thinking that they have the will to decide what's right, and that's not correct. So, and then the second question was,
the second question, are they both means to an end?
Are they both means to an end? I'm honestly unsure of like what that.
Yeah, I mean, they technically are both means to an end, but it would be interesting to get a little more clarification there. But James, just in general, have you ever dabbled? Have you ever looked into some esoteric cult stuff? Are you familiar with the law of attraction?
No, and that's why. Will you put the link to the book in the description? I was trying to jot it down and I didn't get it.
I'll send that to you.
So you're gonna, when you see this book, you're gonna run into a bunch of words you've never heard, but like it's anyone who like is willing to learn, they'll just look it up and continue. But that particular book is like about 170 something pages. Before you read that, I would consider reading this 12-page book called The Kybalion, and it's just the principles that govern. So it just gives you like a background. It's like an easy read kind of, but it's also super like interesting.
Yeah.
Well, something that I studied growing up were the
it's Kybalion.
Okay.
Something I studied growing up was the 48 powers. Have you guys heard of that? 48 laws of power.
I've heard of it. Yeah, and here's the thing, guys. Look, this is not something that I'm just like throwing out there. Like I haven't like looked at it like that much, but like one of my number one concerns when looking into any of this stuff is like, how true is this? How true are these like books? Like I've heard, now just me, I've never read the 48, but I've also heard that that's like, the CIA and like different factions of this government, they have front companies that make books to like gatekeep people. Like the Law of Attraction book, that is true, while it's only like 8/10 true, because they don't like give you the keys. I want the books to give me the keys. Like I'm not trying to waste any more time.
Well, I agree, but like you said, there's always good starting places. So like I always Yeah. So when it comes to the law of attraction, I actually, because most people remember, most people are regulars, they're normies. So I'll put them in, even somebody that's pretty much, I mean, I'm a normie too. I just been out of normiehood for a long time now. But when I see something, I like getting the basic understanding first. So I always prescribe people to watch The Secret on Netflix that are normies.
Yeah, that's where 2009 is when I first saw, or something like that, like The Secret, and like you get, it's true.
The point is, I think your overall point here, Nick, is, and I agree with you, is there is this information that people have had going back thousands of years, and we're not supposed to know about it. And they want us to stay away from that information because they like all the power, they like all the control. And when they understand things about human psychology and our biology and the nature of reality, they're not apt to share that with us, just like they've not been apt to share all it's fun for them to hide it from us. That's like, ooh, like look what we tricked them with, like Yeah, they're laughing in our face,
No,
and they throw it in the face. So I'm glad you brought this point up, Nick. You're a great caller.
Cool.
You are a wonderful caller.
You should leave your information, and we'd love to get you on the show one time and talk about the esoteric occult stuff. And if you guys are just tuning in here for James Freeman, guys, we do the show every night, Monday through Friday. We have amazing guests on all the time. We talk. It's a daily update. We cover news. We have a whole bunch of laughs. So definitely check out our show here too.
Can I make one last little? Well, I'll talk to you about
one last little comment.
One last, yeah, we got time.
No, it's not even important. I was just gonna say, like,
I want to ask him a question too.
Sure, go ahead, James.
If I can, guys.
It's more important that you talk than me.
We got a couple minutes. Yes, please.
Oh, okay, we're out of time. We'll do it on another show then. I've got some more questions for you. We can do it on another show though.
Well, yeah, we could. You're always welcome on the show, James. Hey, 5 nights a week. Hey, you can just walk in. It's no problem.
Yeah, he replaced me with
James, I think you should start a 24-hour Ask James Anything.
Well, because of our new format, we are shorted on time. Nick, thank you for calling in. We are shorted for time because, we got to play some extra commercials after the intro for RBN, but we got to, again, give praise to our guest here. Wonderful guest. I've been dying to have him on the show, and we finally got him. Yes, James Freeman.
My new master.
Hey, can we get you on TLBTalk.com? Can we get your support over there, my friend?
On Shelby Talk? Yeah.
TLBTalk.com,
is that one of your shows,
my new social network. We got to get rid of Facebook, my friend. That's my campaign.
TLB Talk is the social media platform I've been promoting. On screen is James' channel. We're going to go back to James' channel. Find James on YouTube. PewDiePie has still has more subscribers than him, and that's unfortunate. James is climbing up in the ranks. PewDiePie is stagnant, but we need to get James over PewDiePie. And right here in the description, the about, you will see his merch. And this is some dope merch. And hopefully James will come spread his merch and his ideas of freedom of liberty. Sign up for a free account at tlbtalk.com. tlbtalk.com, brand new social media platform. It's the alternative to Facebook and Twitter. It's censorship free. All the cool guys like me that got banned on Facebook and had to create all these burner accounts, all the groups. When you join a group, it doesn't say, this could be some possible misinformation about the flu. Are you really sure you want to have a friend here? No, we got the documents there. We got the videos. We got everything. We like the documents that would have this stuff. We actually we don't put Fox News or CNN. There's a whole thing of just documents and videos. So join up for TLBTalk.com. James. Oh man, we're running out of time too fast. No, damn it.
Yes. Yes, we're out of time, guys. This has been another episode of the Red Pill Hardcore Radio Show. With me, host me. And remember, in the land of surveillance, man with third eyes kings, please educate yourselves. Have a good night.
Conan, what is best in life? Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of your women. That is good.
Tune in next time to Red Pill Hardcore. Keep it real. Take the red pill.
Oh, winner!
And I get the green light from Mom.
And Will, that's when you would play the rap for KGRA.
Okay.
So that's why I need you guys to make the meeting, make the call with Bill, so you guys understand what's going on.
All right, man.
Hey, Will.
Yeah.
Send me a link to that video.
Which one?
the nature of
I bet I know which one.
That second video.
Oh yeah. Someone put up this guy's video on Facebook the other day. Well, I'm not gonna play it to get a strike, but this guy's videos are mad. This one right here. It says this video will save every single man's life, and it's mad funny. Like the way he edits his videos, he's so funny. I want to show you. I mean, I didn't realize what I just subscribed to him like 2 days ago. Yes. Oh, he just started a channel like 4 weeks ago. But this dude is so funny. The way he edits his videos. I'm not gonna play a thing, but he's one of the few subscriptions that I got that's actually pretty funny. Look at my subscriptions, and you know what?
And he knows how to make
I'm sharing my subscriptions on YouTube live right now, and I bet you there's some people right now who are like, oh, how come you not subscribe to me anymore? Well, that's because they deleted my first channel. So if I unsubscribed to you, it wasn't me. You gotta.
Well, actually, you know what? Speaking of subscribing, James, I had subscribed to your YouTube channel before. I still have the same account. I'm not subscribed anymore.
Yeah,
so they
that happens to me as well.
So yeah, I gotta resubscribe. I've noticed that like anybody who's got some real stuff that I can work with, they're unsubscribing me from.
Yeah, that happens to me on Instagram and all these platforms. Yep. It's crazy. So thank you to the YouTube guys checking this out. James, I'll message you those things. And yeah, man, I really appreciate you joining us and doing this with us, man, because you're an awesome dude, man. You're one of the people that I admire. And it's really cool that we had a dope conversation today and we got into the esoteric stuff too. That was fun. So I appreciate you, bro.
And
you took the perfect color there. Huh?
I want you to be a regular on the show. And I'm also going to welcome you to, hey, if you want a copy of the edited show, put on your YouTube channel. I offer that to all guests. You know, I'm not about this YouTube copyright crap. Everybody's entitled to their own episode of the show to put on their YouTube channels. So
awesome.
we'll
I appreciate
that to you. Are you on Skype, any?
I used it back in the day when Skype was a thing, so I know I have an account.
Okay, well, never mind. Just get on tlbtalk.com and hit me up because I have a good feeling that we work together. We're gonna kick some ass.
And yeah, James, anytime you want to audit with the federal agent out here in Providence, Rhode Island, in the Northeast, I got you, dog. We'll definitely link up, man.
Right on.
And yeah, and I definitely, man. Well, I know you ain't in Texas anymore, man. That's one of the big states. That's where V's from. That's where Mikey's at right now. I got to go down to Texas one of these days. So next.
Well, I want you to audit in Texas. I'm telling you, we
all got to link up in Texas, man. Me, you, and Mikey, and James too. Me, you, and Mikey are going to meet up for fried chicken and videos and beers. But yeah, and we could add James to that mix too. So we could do that.
Texas, I'm going to tell you, the cops in Texas are a whole different breed.
That was another one of the questions I wanted to get to with James. Yeah. If you saw different cops in different areas and how they treated them, and also, you know, what the future is going to be like. Because I see like everybody going to Florida and New Hampshire and Montana and Texas, and then now everyone else is blue. So yeah, can we get one more question out of you, James?
Yeah. What do you think? Yeah, I'll hang out, man.
Well, no, I want to wrap this up. I unfortunately have to go to court tomorrow for to be a witness in one of the Rise of the Moors cases. So that sucks. But yeah, what do you think, man? We got the red and the blue states playing out. What do you think the future is looking like? Because we are getting divvied up here.
Oh, man, I think it's all going to hell. I actually ended up moving to a blue state, which was not my goal at all. I was in Texas. We had intended to move up to Idaho or Montana. Decided we were going to live on the road for a couple of years while we waited for some money to come in. We were traveling around, living in an RV, and then the scamdemic hit. And we did not have enough money to buy land in Idaho or Montana because it's a lot more expensive there. So I started looking for land that was in my price range, that had trees, a couple little, things that met my criteria for the price that I could afford. And we ended up in the crappy state of New Mexico because it was where we could afford the land that we got. but I mean, we're out in the country so far. We're in a red county, but really, I mean, it's all going to crap everywhere. Idaho, for example, where we had planned to go, the tyrannical mandates are out of control up there just as much as they are here. So, I mean, I don't see red versus blue making a whole lot of difference in what's really in the new world order that's really being pushed. The new agenda, really not the new agenda, the way the agenda is being pushed now. I could be wrong, though. I feel like you guys often have a lot more insight than me on a lot of this stuff. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was going to say, by the way, you are the man who inspired my beard. I see you trimmed your beard.
I shaved it all the way off twice.
I was like, yeah, that man's rocking.
How long did that take you to shave that whole thing? Jeez, that's a pain because I've had mine down here. That's a pain. That's a real pain in the ass, dude.
Yeah, Little Miss hates.
Yeah, I shaved it once. Almost
start up the TV show so I can cut it again. Yeah.
All right, guys.
Well, all right.
Yeah, I shaved it once almost 3 years ago, and then go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was gonna say it was wonderful meeting you. It's been a long time coming, and I look forward to talking with you and working with you in the future.
Likewise. Thanks a lot for having me on the show, man. I really do appreciate it. It's been an awesome conversation with you guys.
All right,
Excellent.
guys. Thank you, James. Everyone go to subscribe to James. Everyone go to sign up to TLB Talk. Subscribe to James. Buy some merch. Tell him good old fake Mike sent you. RBN Mike, thank you very much. Can we get the Hillary clip barking? No, you're already going to bed. You're going to bed. All right, guys. Until next time, fake Mike. Real news. We'll see you again real soon.